Beautiful people. Beautiful people. Beautiful.
Hello, this is Svitlana, and today in the Beautiful People project, the best pastor in the world, Roland Syens. He's the best because I came to God through his sermons. So, Pastor Roland, I've started the project called Beautiful People. And we talk about inner and outer beauty. So, who are beautiful people for you?
There's an illustration I want to give first. There's an amazing ship. I think it's called the Queen Mary. It was a ship used by royalty in England for many, many years, and then it was stuck in the harbor for a long time. But it was beautiful. It was just wonderful. But they decided that they would kind of fix it up, do a remont, rebuild it. And so they got to the smokestacks, the big tubes that stick up. And they thought, well, we'll just take them off and then redo them. And they took out the screws because they look beautiful, but they just want to repaint them. And they took off the screws, and as they were trying to lift the smokestacks off, it all crumbled. It was beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, it all rusted away because it spent more time fixing the outside and not on the inside. I remember another person said to me once, he says, be careful when you get married. Don't get married to beautiful stupid. Why? Because the beauty will go away, but the stupid always stays. As you see, beauty is not something that's just on the outside. As a matter of fact, you can spend so much time on the outside that you forget the inside, and you end up with a destroyed marriage and destroyed everything, especially if a guy looks for a girl just for her beauty on the outside. I don't think the marriage is going to last very long because we all get older. I know, I've lost my hair. I didn't start this way, but now I have no hair. Would you say that's not beautiful? Maybe. Does it matter to me? No, it doesn't, because it's what's on the inside. God doesn't save my hair. He saves my soul. God cares about what happens on the character on the inside, how I treat other people, not only when I'm with my wife, but when I'm walking on the streets, caring for the person on the side of the road. When I show that care for that person, it's because, well, let me pause. I remember I went to India once and saw Mother Teresa. When I was with Mother Teresa in Calcutta, I said to her, what are some of the things I should do when I begin my ministry? And she said, see yourself as an instrument in the hand of God as he writes a love letter to the world. Or see each person as Christ and allow that Christ to love you. Or sit beside a person and listen. And within half an hour, you're going to know whether you're to teach them or whether you're going to learn from them. But first you listen. Because in each person, there's an inner beauty. Why? Because we were made in the image of God. In Psalm 139, it says, Lord, in Russian it's 138, in Ukrainian, Lord, you know when we sit and when we stand. You know our thoughts even before we speak them. Before a word is on our tongue, you know it completely. And then later on it says, I formed you in your mother's womb. Before one of your days came to be, I knew them. In other words, you're created by God. And God does not make junk. God makes people that he loves, that he died for, to give you new life. And the beauty then doesn't come from the outside. It really comes from the inside.
Beautiful people.
A little boy was walking with his mother, and as they were going through a park, the boy saw a beautiful rose. And he saw all these roses that were wonderfully open, but then he saw a number of roses that were really closed, and he thought he would just help the rose out. So he comes up, he's maybe 4 years old, he comes up to the rosebud, and he tries to pull it apart. And as he pulls it apart, it falls apart. And he runs up to his mother and he says, Mom, why is it that when I try to open up a rosebud, it falls apart? But when God opens up a rosebud, it's so beautiful. His mother didn't know how to answer the question, so you know what you mothers do, right? Oh, look, there are the swings. Take a look. And the boy goes running off to the swings. And then all of a sudden it came to the mother. No, it actually came to the boy. He's swinging on the swings, and all of a sudden he jumps off the swing, and he comes running up to his mother, and he says, Mom, I know why. When God opens up a rosebud, it's so beautiful, but when I try to open it, it falls apart. It's because God opens it up from the inside. You see, all of you are rosebuds, and you can try to open yourself up. As a matter of fact, the commercial industry of our world knows that. You spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on cosmetics to make your eyebrows look this way, your face look this way, everything else look this way, but that's not who you are. That's selling yourself by painting yourself, just like the St. Mary, isn't it? The smokestack that fell apart. But you see, God sees you as his creation, a beautiful rosebud that he's opening up from the inside. When you believe and place your faith and trust in Jesus, who loves you, who died for you, you take your love for him. You see, because if you expect your love to come from other people, you're going to be disappointed. And maybe while you're watching this, you are disappointed because you thought your love would come from a husband or from another guy or from a girl or from something. But you've been looking for your love in all the wrong places, and you're never satisfied. Or maybe it's in your children, and you make your children into gods because they're supposed to love you, and you love them, and you hover over them. Well, you know, in North America, they call it helicopter moms. But then what happens when your kids get old enough, they leave? You're alone. But when you understand the love that God gives for you, you're strong inside. I think about in Ukraine, in Kiev, there's this woman that stands on a hill, the Iron Lady, or the Mother of Ukraine.
The symbol of the Ukrainian women. We are very strong.
Yes, but you're never going to be strong unless you know where your strength comes from. When it comes from the Lord, and you know your love and your integrity and who you are as a woman comes because you are loved by God, that Jesus died for you and he lives in you, and that gives you that strength so you can care for your husband, you can care for your children, even when they may not be giving you love. That's not where you're looking for it. You're looking for it in God. And when you find it in God, you become the Zhelezhnaya Zhenshina. You become this woman of iron and strength because the Lord is my strength. Because he's always with me, and he gives me wisdom, and he helps me when I feel insecure, and when I feel inadequate, and when I feel ugly. God says, you're mine, and I love you. And I hope when we began this program, this little message, you maybe felt like this, but I hope now you feel like this, because God opens you from the inside in Jesus. Pust Bog blagoslovit vas.
Beautiful people.